Where am I?
In my head.
So I am at Kings Park Psychiatric Center, which still operates today, but mostly not so much. It was a part of Pilgrim State Psychiatric Center, which is the largest mental hospital ever built in the entire world. Let that sink in. This building here was one of the buildings for sick patients, like patients they really needed to look after. It's one of the biggest ones still standing. And I want to talk a little bit more about the history of this place and also talk about me. Alright, so I have some things that I want to change about my YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about those, but this psychiatric center was operating in the 1920s, I believe. I know they built the Pilgrim State Center in the 1920s. I have some pictures from that place that I'm going to throw up now. I took those pictures years and years ago because it's a private property, so you're not allowed to be on it, but I cut through and was taking pictures then. So as you can see, a lot of these buildings have been sealed off and closed off, and they've been that way for a very long time because these hospitals closed down. So let's talk about the history of these hospitals, then I'm going to get to why I am so anxious lately. So you can just get a sense of the sprawling grounds here. It's a huge facility, and this is just the Kings Park facility. The Pilgrim State one is absolutely crazy. Now, come the 1920s or so, we had a problem here in New York, and this was happening across the United States, where we had too many people who were mentally ill. You know, we know today that 1 in 4 people have a mental disorder, but back then, what was typically done was somebody was put into a mental hospital. We didn't have like outpatient therapy like we do now, where you go in and you see a therapist. We didn't have the medications we have today. And so everybody kind of just got stuck in a hospital if you were severe enough. If you weren't severe enough, then your family had to deal with you and you had to just figure it out on your own. So a lot of people wound up in hospitals, and these hospitals got overcrowded. And so New York State said, okay, like enough is enough. And they built this humongous facility out here, which is what I'm standing on today, Kings Park, specifically Pilgrim State, Kings Park, and Central Islip hospitals. Pilgrim State is like the main hub, and then you have where I'm standing today and Central Islip. Now, this was kind of like a blessing and a curse, because what they did was they built these hospitals out on Long Island, which is far out from the city. Basically, at that time, it was like farmland and like some families, but it was kind of like, the whole idea was to just get the crazy people away from everybody else, away from the city where it was bustling and it could be dangerous. They could turn into criminals. There was a lot of thought back then that people who were mentally ill committed crimes. And so it was like, just get them away from us, deal with them somewhere else. And that was kind of the mentality. However, and I should say back then, because I have a book about this, I was reading to get some knowledge about all of this. I am very interested in this, actually. I used to be obsessed with it, and I kind of gave it up. But they overcrowded these hospitals, even out here, because it was just too much of a problem. But over the years, they started to get better at it, and they started to build more add-ons, and there began to be more space. Treatment began to get better. So in the beginning, like those horror stories that you hear, you know, I loved American Horror Story Asylum. Some of that might have been from those early days of the mental hospitals, but it wasn't like that all the time. It progressed. And the thing that we miss sometimes when we think about mental hospitals is that there were really good facilities. These facilities, like the one I'm standing on at Pilgrim State and Central Islip, those are the ones that I know about. Those facilities all had farms, they had recreations, you could do mini golf, bowling alleys, they had like talent shows and sports and like everything you could ever need. It was basically, you lived there. They had barber shops, they had everything that any person would need, because you were living here. You didn't just come here for a week. You were taken away from your family, and this was your new life, basically. And so they needed to accommodate that, and it actually was a very caring place. Aside from, you know, some of the sketchy things that we know about in our way of treating people with mental illnesses, it was actually very nice, and the staff seemed to really care about the patients. So it was good. There were good aspects to mental hospitals. Kind of a random weird fact, but originally this road that I'm walking down, which kind of cuts through the entire system here. It was originally called Lover's Lane, and also the steam from the power plant, I believe, if I have this correct, used to run through pipes along this whole giant stretch here. Okay, so let's talk about my YouTube channel, guys. My stress level the past couple of days has been like up here because I want to change a lot of things about my channel, and they're gonna require me to really step up my game and really challenge myself to do things I don't know if I can possibly do. And that's the thought that keeps going through my mind, is I don't know if I can actually do this. This is like way too much. I don't think this is possible for me. Because I'm already stressing myself out doing these videos 5 days a week, but I have this plan that I'm hoping is going to get you excited, because I don't think I'm doing a good job here. I don't think I'm keeping you very interested. I believe that building over there was like a main hospital area for like surgeries and emergency situations. I know it was used by the police here for a long time. Some kind of flagpole thing over here. Where is it? There it is. So anyway, I want to do like characters, and I want to do skits, and I want to do comedy around mental health, and do like drama and like, I don't know, more comedy than drama. But I want to create people, because this channel is supposed to be about humanizing mental health. And I kind of just brainstormed the other day, and I thought like, okay, what can I do to make this channel interesting? What can I do to make this, hold on. Just so you know, guys, the ice cream truck will leave the field at 3. Important stuff. So I wanted to engage you guys, because I think when you come here for something, like, I know you're not watching all my videos. Who the hell would watch all my videos? I'm not talking about something that's relevant to everybody every single time. But I thought if I could make characters and I could make stories going on, then you'd be more interested in what's going on. You'd want to know more about these people and what's going on with them. And that might make it more engaging and like a place you'd like to hang out and you'd like to talk with other people who are watching. So that was my plan. And that means I have to act. I am not an actor. I don't even know if I have the comedy chops to do this. I think I probably do. But it means that I have to buy props. It means that I have to write storyboards, like scripts. I have to be more careful about everything that I'm doing, really, and it's really scary for me. I want to show you this building again. There's a security guard outside the building, but there it is. It used to have a giant cube on the top. I guess they got rid of it. There is a bike trail here, and they turned this whole place into like a park. One of the things that frustrates me is that these buildings, they've all just been kind of abandoned. So let me talk about that real quick and continue back on what I was saying. Okay, so let's not get hit by a bike. These places were built to house the mentally ill, but as time went on, we started learning about medication. There was this big pressure from the taxpayers of New York, who said, like, we are spending way too much money on mentally ill people. Because remember, it was like we were paying for people to live here, to have all of these recreations, farming, power, everything, staffing. And so the decision was, like, we need to shut this down. Insurance companies were not going to pay for people to live out here forever, for the entirety of their lives. Insurance companies said, you know what, we have medications now, we'll pay for that, we'll pay for visits to therapists off-site. And so gradually all of these places, they shut down, and the buildings were just abandoned, and it really saddens me. There are some buildings that became part of campuses here. Pilgrim State, a bunch of those buildings became part of the Suffolk County Community College, as well as over in Central Islip, a bunch of buildings there also became part of the college, but a lot of the buildings just got abandoned. Now over at Pilgrim State, somebody bought out a lot of the private property, and they were planning to like remake it and make a whole town square, like shopping district / residential area. Hasn't happened yet. They've had a lot of setbacks trying to get that done. But because it's owned by a private developer and it's unsafe because people trespass and they try to get inside the buildings, then they decided, like, that's it, we're just gonna crumble a lot of those, and that's what's happened. A lot of destruction has happened. So there's a lot of history behind all of this. It's very interesting. There is a book that I have that I will link to if you're interested to learn more, but I gotta keep talking about me now. Okay, so let's walk together and talk. Now, I wanted to do these characters. I have not even created the characters yet, I'm afraid, but I'm gonna have to do that tonight because I want to make this a reality. But it's really difficult for me to do all of this because I'm not trained to do this. I taught myself how to do the graphics that I do because everything that you see on my channel is me. I did the graphics, I take the photos, I put the thumbnails together, it's all me. And I trained myself over a long period of time. Someone's coming, so I'm gonna stop. So I trained myself over a very long period of time to get these skills, to build a website, to build all this stuff. And I'm still learning and I'm still not that great about it. I want to show you these plants because I saw them from the road coming up here and I thought they were kind of cool. I don't know what they are, but they look interesting, don't they? But they probably don't. Hold on, let me turn it around. I don't know if I'm like framing the shot that well, but they look really cool to me. They're like these tall plants. There's some more over here. I don't think this looks as cool as it does to me on camera, but I wanted to show you this as well. I may have to come back here more often because there's some really interesting landscapes here. On that note, before I forget, there's a whole other area of this park, but it's not free. I don't have money to be like going around like these vloggers on YouTube that like do all this fun stuff. I don't have that availability right now, so I gotta go with the free stuff. I know some of you out there know what I'm talking about. And so it kind of frustrates me that where I live on Long Island, I don't like Long Island. I'm sorry for anybody who loves it. It's not my place. And I've lived here all my life, and yet there's not like a lot of free places to just go and do stuff. You know, if you want to do anything here, you have to pay. Even the parks, there's a lot of fees involved in going to a park, going to a beach or whatever. And that's fine if you have an income for that, but I don't have the income for that. And so vlogging is really frustrating for me because this is why I've been vlogging at night, because I don't have the ability to go somewhere that's more interesting for you to watch me vlog. And it's just convenient for me to go out at night and kind of do it then, but I'm trying to make this a little more exciting for you, so we'll see how that goes. Now I do plan to continue doing vlogging, and so don't feel like that's out of the question, but it's going to be more like vlogging because I've been doing vlogs just kind of explaining mental health concepts, and that's all good and fine. But that's probably not what you're so interested in. Or maybe you're interested in it, but it's not going to have you coming back. You know, like I think my subscribers, I hope that's who I'm talking to right now, you're going to come back because you want to know more about me and what's going on in my life. And so part of humanizing mental health will be getting back to me and my situation. And my situation right now is that it's really hard to do all of this. At home, I have a very noisy place. I just went out yesterday and bought under the door sweep and some insulation to kind of seal off my door because I would love to do more things at home and I have so many ideas for things that I could do, but because of the noise and because I don't have the control over what kind of noise enters my space, it's been really limiting. But I'm going to do my best to be able to do more and to do these character things, because it's also going to get cold soon and I won't be able to go out like this, and I need to have a way to keep producing stuff for you. Okay, so where am I today? What's going on today? So yesterday, this is why my stress level is so high, because I'm realizing this is going to be a monumental amount of work because I'm not a screenwriter. I don't know how to write characters. I've never written stories this way before. Like, I didn't do so well in school when it came to English, when we had those kind of assignments, like creative writing assignments. And so I know the basics and I've been looking it up, but I'm terrified, and yet I'm going to push through and do it anyway. I'm totally out of my comfort zone here. So I went to a dollar store and I saw there's a lot of stuff that I can use as props to create these different characters. I thought, okay, that's doable. You know, it's not free, but I can do it. And I have equipment at home, so that's not a problem. That's already accumulated. I have microphone, I have lighting. It's not the best, but I have to do what I can with what I have. I don't really have a choice here. Talk to you as we keep walking, because I think this is the old powerhouse. And last time I was here, which was years and years and years ago, it went on fire and I had to call the fire department. I don't know how it wound up on fire. Probably somebody was in there with a cigarette or something, but is this it? This must be it, but I don't see the smokestack. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. I think I saw it from a different angle the last time I came through here, and it looks like they removed the smokestack that used to be here, but this used to be the power plant, I believe. I may be wrong. We'll find out. I do think it's really cool that you can just kind of like walk up to pieces of history like this while they're still around. And it makes me so sad that a lot of them have been torn down. Even the stuff that I took pictures of in Pilgrim State, it's not there anymore. I was totally wrong, you guys, because this is exactly where I was years and years ago as I'm walking up here, and this is the old power plant. That makes much more sense. This is a bigger building. And right here is where I saw the fire, so I'm going to come in a little closer so you can see. Right out that door that you see there where there's all that graffiti, there was like flames coming out of it. I was like, holy crap. And I was out here with a friend and I'm like, nobody's gonna know this place is on fire unless we say something. So there it is, and I'll walk around the front and maybe you can see a little better. Now across the street, I believe these were residential buildings for people who didn't need to be under doctor's care all the time. I may be wrong. I know the doctor's buildings are on like the other side. This was a huge sprawling place, guys. And I'm hearing some music. There's a bar nearby that kind of set up over here, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so we can't really see because all these trees are in the way, but that is the power plant building. I don't really see the smokestack. I think they did remove a smokestack. Unless it just crumbled, I have no idea. But that's it. And here I see something else. Let's see if I can get over there quickly. I think this might be like a tunnel. I know the Pilgrim State system has a whole bunch of tunnels that go under the ground, and they look like this. These very small buildings, and then when you go inside there's like a staircase and then you go to the tunnels underneath. So I think that's what this is. And here's that big building that we first came across from the back. So this is what it takes to be a YouTuber. I really need to come out of my comfort zone and figure things out as best I can, because I want it to be fun for you, and I want to do more vlogs like this where I'm talking about how I'm feeling. Although, to be honest, I'm going to be real here, I wasn't that vulnerable. There are deer over here. You need to see them. They're so cute. I'm going to zoom in. Look at the deer. They don't belong out here. Aw, so cute. So I'm not showing it so well here on camera, but I am really afraid to be doing all of this. I am very stressed out, I guess because I'm in this calming environment, even though there's like these decrepit buildings around. But I feel okay when I'm out walking. But when I'm in my room and I'm brainstorming and trying to figure this out, I get so overwhelmed and it feels so monumental, and I think like, holy crap, how am I going to do this? Literally, how am I going to do this? There are so many extra steps that I'm going to take to be scripting. Like, I don't write scripts for what I'm doing right now. So that's a whole extra process of writing scripts, character development, putting in the funny jokes, nailing acting. I don't act when I'm out here, so I'm gonna have to actually learn to act and try to nail jokes. And it terrifies me to be doing jokes about mental health because I know people will be offended, people will be hurt, people may be offended and hurt and then self-harm, and I may not be able to control that. But it really sucks to think that that may be something that's my fault. Well, I wouldn't say it's my fault, but I'm the catalyst for it. And I've had to just come to terms with, like, that's okay, because I can't shield everybody from their pain, and I can't help everybody with everybody's pain. I just got to do what I'm able to do. There's some debris out here. It looks much brighter on the camera than it actually is in my field of vision. It's a little spooky walking where I am right now. But I can only do what I can do, and my goal is to humanize mental health, and I figured if I could get characters, I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but if I can get characters that you can relate to, then that will help me to humanize mental health, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this channel in the first place. Well, I just deleted a video. I had a thought there I was trying to get across, but my whole point of this channel is to humanize mental health, and I feel like we don't talk about mental health enough, and I want people to know that it's okay to struggle with mental illness, and it's okay to not know the answers, and it's okay to reach out for help, and it's okay when you don't know how to reach out for help. It's okay when you have problems with relationships. It's okay when you screw up a relationship. It's okay when you've been abused, you can get through it. It's okay if you've abused somebody else. You can find a way to move through that as well. We're all just having a human experience here. And these are things I think that people don't talk about enough. And if I can introduce them in a way that's kind of funny and relatable and get people thinking a little bit more, that is my goal. And that is my goal because I have been through so much hell in my life, and I have not talked about it. I don't know if I'm gonna even talk about all of it on this channel because some of it's just personal. There's no reason to bring up the past sometimes, but I've been through so many situations where I thought, like, I am never gonna get out of this. Even today, well, not today, but like within this month, you know, I talked in my last vlog about how I had suicidal ideation. There's times when things get really hard. Here's a deer. You can't see it, but he's really close to me. Let's see if he'll let me get even closer. Oh, there's like a family. I don't know what to do. I've never encountered a deer in the wild like this. I think it's afraid of me. It's okay. Oh. I think it's a mother and a child. Oh, is that father? Hello. Hi. The things you find out in the woods. These could have been the ones from earlier because a bunch of people scared them. Hi. Do you want to come say hello? Maybe they'll come say hello. I think they're scared. I was trying to talk to them. It looks like the one in the front is kind of leading the pack, and I was saying, do you want to come across the street? But he's not feeling me. I wanted to see if he would come up and say hello, but he doesn't seem comfortable. But this was a first. Well, I know you can't really tell it so well, but it's getting dark out here. I really should go. This is where my mind is at lately. So this week, I may not be doing 5 videos a week because this is a large undertaking. Yesterday I found like the fonts for the logos. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm not used to doing it this way. I found the fonts for the logos for the like different things that I want to do. So that's what I was doing yesterday. Even that can get kind of stressful sometimes because I don't know how to explain it if you've never done anything creative like that before, but it takes a lot of time because you want to get it right. You're trying to create a feeling, a brand around everything. And so we'll talk about that more maybe the next time I meet you on camera. There's also a recreational field here, which is kind of funny. So I will talk to you next time, everybody. I would love to know what you concept of having different characters and different skits and comedy and whatnot. Is that something that you'd be interested in watching? Is it not something you'd be interested in watching? Do you really just come here for answers to things? Let me know what you think. If you're new here, please subscribe. There's going to be a lot more stuff to see soon.